I have mono or something.
Oh no,
Dude, I think I've got Lyme.
dude, Chris Williamson got it too.
You got it too?
Did you see that?
Everyone's getting Lyme.
I think he was saying it was from mold exposure.
Oh, really?
But a lot of people in the comments were like, "Nah, dude,
No, you got it from fucking. Yeah, are there a lot of ticks in Texas?
I think you can get it from mold too.
Really? Interesting.
We just found some black mold at our place.
Did you really?
We got it out of there.
Yeah, Kennedy was like asking me, she's like, do you think we have mold? And I was like, fuck, I don't know. How'd you guys find it?
We were fixing the glass door on the shower. We were fixing it, and when the guy pulled it out, he was like, oh, there's black mold under here.
Shit.
But I guess that is kind of normal.
Yeah.
Because of the way the water falls in.
That makes sense.
And it wasn't enough to create a health situation.
Yeah.
But I was nervous because I'd taken big ass luxurious baths.
Right. You're sitting right next to it. Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, basically kissing it.
Dude, not enough people are talking about mold.
It's a thing.
It's everywhere. And it's tough to find, tough to eradicate. And you got to get, everything requires an expert nowadays. Now you got to get an expert to come and check out your mold. It's like, when did mold become a thing?
I just looked it up. Mold cannot give you Lyme disease.
So what can give you, is it just ticks?
How do so many people get hit by ticks?
Does mold affect your boner?
Yeah, I guess he says he has Epstein-Barr too.
What?
He's suffering from toxic mold exposure, Lyme disease, and Epstein-Barr. We'll feel better, brother. I think you're just overworked.
What's Epstein-Barr?
It's like a precursor to mono. It's like a non-contagious version of mono, I think.
And it's named Epstein-Barr?
Yeah. So who's on that list?
Even medicine's getting political.
Oh, it's from the herpes family.
Damn.
90% of people worldwide have been affected.
90%?
Yeah, and it stays in your body for life.
Yeah, I was looking at mono yesterday because I've been for the past week. I mean, it's for the past week I've been having like burnout, which is why I'm wearing shades right now. I'm like, I don't want people to see my eyes. But I think it's attributable to, I got 4 hours sleep Saturday, and then Lola got in the crawl space and got a rat, and I was all nervous about, this disease that she could possibly catch. So it was super high stress. And then we had 2 shoot days, and but mostly it was like low quality sleep and super high stress. And then the 4 hours sleep, and my body's just hasn't recovered. It's crazy. My body, like, I'll look at my watch and my body's like, dude, and I'll feel it. I'll be like, I've been taking hour-long naps each day, which I can't. Usually I can't nap more than 20 minutes.
Has it been fun?
I wish, dude. I wish. I've been cranking out Disneyland YouTubes, checking out, the hauntings at Disneyland. Disneyland Hotel is super haunted. Tomorrowland, surprisingly, super haunted. Frontierland, super haunted.
And sorry.
Yeah.
Do they use like a gauge?
They use like an EVP monitor. So they check for ectoplasm. And apparently they just found white goo all over like Space Mountain, and then like Walt's apartment. Like Walt has an apartment on Main Street, and there was just white goo all over his apartment. And they're like, that's from a ghost. They found white goo all over the Haunted Mansion too, like in the dune buggies, like on the bars and stuff, and like on the floor of the dune buggy. There's just like there's like goo on everyone.
Can they measure if it's good goo or bad goo?
Yeah, for sure. So, my my initial thought was like, well, is this just jizz? And then they're like, well, we can't differentiate, but if there's goo, we assume it's a ghost.
Wait, who were you talking to?
This guy Ted on YouTube, I DM'd him.
Okay.
Yeah, super nice guy.
So it could be jizz.
Yeah, it could just be that Disneyland is covered in jizz. But the ghost hunters say that's not the case. No one would ever bust in Disneyland. No one would ever bust in Walt's apartment. What do you think?
At first, when we were just talking about the ectoplasm, I leapt pretty quickly to conspiracy and thought that people who work for Disney are pouring out ectoplasm to add more lore to the park. Then when we brought in jizz, I felt bad for the kids.
Right. Because they're sitting in jizz.
Brutal.
Yeah. I mean, you know, to look at it in a positive way, it is.
Why do you go to Disneyland so much?
Well, it is the happiest place on earth. Or do you think that I'm contributing to the jizz?
Or you like sitting in jizz?
Maybe I do.
That's cool.
I'm in an experimental time right now. I've been playing with my ass. Something's going on.
That's really interesting to me, because you have always been a big butthole guy. Generally,
female.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah. Thank you. Generally, other buttholes.
Yeah.
Female buttholes mainly, always. And I think it's kind of makes sense for that loop to come back to you.
Yeah. So it's like I'm so enamored by other buttholes. Eventually, I got to explore yeah, I've got one. And yeah, you're right. And you know, I think I've been so consumed, all over consumed by beehole, that I'm like, well, what's going on down low? And yeah.
I circling back to you being tired, I do think this is almost an epidemic, that dudes who are hyper productive online, like I'd call you guys massive posters,
yeah,
are getting sick.
Yeah.
Like you, Williamson, the Beebs, Jordan Peterson, like just dudes who are just ripping clips.
Dude, are you grouping me in the same group as the Beebs and Peterson?
They're Canadian. And so you guys are top of your professions, hyper on it, but you're all getting sick. And it makes me wonder if, sort of like a marathon, if you guys are taxing your CNS too much with your posting. So I'm wondering if we can switch modalities and come up with like a hypertrophic system, so that your guys' brains are actually getting swole, like just totally like new grooves that are like new striations on your buys.
Right.
And so is the key now not to post all the time and like, but actually just to hit it in bursts, like 1 minute of, like you do 1 minute of posting, then you take a 1 minute break. Then you do like 1 minute of reading an article. Then you take a break. Then you do 1 minute of, like maybe as a sweetener at the end, like 1 minute of porn. And then you take a break. And then you just do 12 sets of that. And that's it. Then the rest of the day is recovery.
So like 12 minutes.
12 minutes. Sort of like almost like a CrossFit workout.
Right.
But I was leaning more hypertrophy than metabolic.
Right. So hypertrophic social media
workout. Call it a workout. Because your brain is a muscle, right?
Dude, that could work.
And so I almost feel like we should treat it the same that we do like your buys or tries.
Yeah.
And then maybe you give it a week of break.
Yeah. Can't do that.
No, and you're like a hyper responder, so I think your body can handle a bigger workload.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely worth a shot. I'll run it by my fiance. Be like, look, just give me 12 minutes. I'm gonna post. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna jo. Just give me 12 minutes in the kitchen.
12 minutes of work plus 12 minutes of rest.
Not rest the rest of the day.
Well, no,
you're thinking
in between sets.
In between sets. So rest in between sets, and then just do that all day.
Yeah, and I don't even know if it is that. I'm just trying to come up with like, okay, so people do HIIT workouts, people do hypertrophy, people do low intensity, steady state cardio. What are we doing for the brain like that?
Right.
I mean, I know Huberman's out there and he's talking, but there's got to be a way to optimize the load for your brain. And I almost think like you run marathons, maybe you're doing a marathon on your dome too.
Yeah. And I need to supplement it. I need to recover. I need to dunk my head in ice.
And maybe your brain's a sprinter.
Yeah. And I'm pretty close to busting my knee. My cartilage is just shot, but my cartilage in this case is neurons. This is interesting thought for food. And I'm definitely going to munch on it. Well, what's your protocol day to day?
It's bad. I think I suffer from similar things, but without the productive. So like I just do see when I slam bam my brain with tons of social media, I got a lot of adrenaline but no energy.
Yeah.
It's like I'm like pedal to the metal revving the engine, but I'm not even in gear.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out what I can do to level off. We did do an episode about me gooning for our new web series. Mm-hmm. We were going to have, I don't want to give too much away, but basically it was about me trying not to goon, and I haven't gooned since.
No, you cold turkey.
Cold turkey. I mean, I'll goon again, but I haven't gooned since.
Yeah, I that's great.
Yeah, 4 days.
Did you use the methods we discussed?
I do have, yeah. I don't want to give it, but yeah, we came up with some good stuff.
That's cool.
One is just put up a photo of a guy with a sweet face all over wherever you goon. And so when you look at him, you don't want to disappoint him.
Have you tried it?
Yeah, he's up in the room.
What does your fiance think?
She's fine with it.
I don't want to get too personal. It doesn't want to make her goon.
No, I don't think so. He's a nice looking guy. I don't think he's like...
Sorry.
Yeah, what?
I don't know.
Yeah. Trying to insinuate stuff, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems like such a fast world. It's like, how do you if you take your eye off the ball, are you just Tua Tagovailoa, just benched, and then you're Mike McDaniels and you just tossed out.
Tui Sapasopa.
And you're like the persona non grata of Miami. That's not what I want.
No, you got to make it happen when your opportunity comes. That's true. But at the same time, our game isn't settled on Sunday.
Right. Yeah. I know. I've been thinking of yeah, dude, thank you. Yeah, someone in the chat says I'm dropping ball knowledge.
That's Griffin from Phoenix.
That's Griffin from, is that really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, legend. What up, dude? Yeah, what was I talking about? I know part of me just wants to beeline it out of town. Just go to, not Alaska, Hawaii. But everything's so expensive now. You just feel trapped. Yeah. You're like, dude, I want to like get out of town, but it's too expensive. We're caught in this trap.
You need a vacay.
I need a vacay, but it's the economy.
Yeah, hotel visits are down. People are not vacationing.
I know. That's
like the number one metric I would look to see if the country's booming.
Right.
Are people staying at hotels?
What's Vegas like?
Vegas way down. But the prices are good. That's the one thing. But the vibes are down a little bit.
The prices of at Vegas have
Yeah, I think
dropped?
it's cheap right now for a hotel.
Is it really?
Yeah, because people aren't out there too much.
Yeah, because I used to like see this guy on TikTok all the time, and he would just trash. He lives in Vegas. He would just trash Vegas all the time for selling out. We are on tour, so by the time you're listening to this, we are back from Nashville. But next month we are going to be in Pennsylvania. We got Pottstown, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia coming in hot. Then we got Santa Cruz in December. We got Bros Before Joe's on Halloween at the Comedy Store in Los Angeles in the Belly Room. And then I'm doing my Stoked TED Talk, my one-man show at Jam in the Van on my birthday, November 7th. Get your tickets at chatandjt.com.
We got Brooke Knowballs hopping on the pod. She does a great Instagram account where she covers baseball. And she does a lot of like deep dive into some statistical analysis. And she's coming on with Joel LaFlamme, who's her co-writer and producer. And yeah, they just know they put out great content on baseball. We're in the playoffs right now. So they're going to give us the inside scoop on what's going on and hopefully moneyball our domes, dude. What's up, Brooke? What's up, Joel? Great to have you guys on. Love your guys' page. You guys are dropping some great baseball content. Love to see it. Welcome to the pod.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure. And thank you for inviting us both on it. And that means a lot that you guys enjoy our content.
100%. Where are you guys located?
So I am in Southern California. I kind of bounce around a lot, but SoCal native. Joel, if you want to go ahead and say where you're at.
Yeah, I've been in California kind of for the last about 8 months or so. I'm up in Canada actually right now, but I'll be back in the States probably in another 2-3 weeks.
Are you from Canada originally?
Yeah.
Wow, cool. Is baseball as big there as it is here?
Not at all. It's just hockey is the ultimate religion up here. It's very rare to have but don't get me wrong, the Blue Jays will excite the nation, but it's hockey 365 days a year.
All right, well, the Blue Jays are in there, so that's good. What got both you guys into baseball?
I mean, I grew up in Southern California, so baseball was always around. Of course, we have so many teams out here. And so it was just something that you do with your family. You go to a baseball game. And so luckily I had the opportunity to go a lot when I was young. Honestly, Joel brought me more into baseball within the last couple years because Joel is he is my baseball guru, to put it lightly, I suppose. I've just really enjoyed the storytelling element of baseball. I like how it brings people together. You don't have to know anyone at a baseball game and then you're automatically friends. And whenever you see someone that knows baseball, it's like having your own language. So, aside from growing up around it as a kid and going to games just casually, and then once I was introduced to Joel, that's when I really started understanding the game more and developed that passion further.
Yeah, I've heard that about baseball, especially like when it was like the top sport in America when it was over the radio, because it was the best sport over the radio because it gave so much space to the commentators to like fill in the dead time. Like it just had the beats and poetry of regular life.
And then once you started listening to Vince Scully, a lot of people revere him, Dodgers fans
the greatest.
Especially, but he was the best storyteller there was. So listening to him, tell that story during those breaks really brought people in more. And that's exactly what Joel and I try to do with our pages. I'm not trying to imitate Vince Scully, but he is a big inspiration for the way that we stylize our content.
His greatest little off the cuff moment was when there was a Venezuelan hitter up to bat. He's like, Tiki Hernandez from Venezuela, communist country, which only works in practice. He goes, fouls off to third. But I just gave him, he had such a beautiful way of just weaving in all this off the cuff stuff. Maybe we could get into what's going on right now. So Shohei Ohtani, who just blows my mind. I'm so in awe of this guy. Was his performance in the clinching game in the NLCS, by your guys' statistical estimation, the greatest performance in baseball history?
Joel, I'll let you go ahead and start with that one just because I've been talking a lot.
Um, yeah, no, I have to go yes because it, it's funny because you go on social media and you try to see the comparables. Like I've seen football fans go, "Hey, it's like Brady throwing for 400 yards and getting 6 sacks." It's like they're trying to find the comparable that exists in another sport, and that kind of tells you this achievement transcends just your Reggie Jackson 3-homer game, your Madison Bumgarner dominating the postseason. It's like you're kind of putting them together, in one body. So, I've never seen anything comparable to that. And the fact that Brooke actually was at that game
Oh, you
is,
were?
yeah, she was
Yeah,
there.
it was insane. So I had MLB reached out and they said, "Hey, we have some tickets to this game. Do you want to go?" And I was like, "Yeah, please, thank you." It was such a compliment and an honor to be able to be given tickets from them. And I just remember sitting there and I brought along someone that she wasn't as familiar with baseball, but was very interested in getting into it. So I'm sitting there explaining to her how different plays are working, and then I brought out I kid you not, and I did this another time in like 2023 when he was hitting with the Angels, and I was like, I'm gonna record this one because I think he might hit a homer. And he does it, and I was just like, yes, Otani. He always, whenever I see games that he's playing in, he always is performing. Which I'm not going to say that I'm the causation of it whatsoever because he's
But you're bringing
one
good
of.
juju to the park.
I'm bringing the good juju for sure. But the crowd was electric. They were all standing up. We were given these kind of like towel things to wave around. Everyone's waving their towels, screaming. He did it once, and then he did it again, and then he did it again. And the first time he did it was at his first at bat. So it was just so exciting to see that in person in such an important game. And then, of course, them winning. I kind of anticipated that coming into it, and him being crowned MVP. I say crowned because that's kind of the glory I feel like that he deserved after that performance.
Is how many times during that game did they pan to Rob Lowe?
Joel, you were watching it, on TV and stuff. I
Yeah.
feel like I was so focused on the game, I wasn't even watching the screens as much.
I think he's like the Dodgers fan.
It's pretty cool. They let him on the field after they won it, right?
Yeah, we love Rob Lowe. So but I always follow Rob Lowe and like how pumped he is, and I always he's kind of, to me, he's like the Prince of LA, and so I always imagine like he'll go from Otani to Rob Lowe. He's just smiling.
Yeah, it's like cool.
Yeah.
If the Dodgers win it this year, which I think that the odds have it that they will, how does this iteration of the Dodgers rank against like some of the greatest teams of all time, like the 70s Reds or some of the better Yankee teams? Like, are they on that level?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say statistically they're right there with 98 Yankees, mid 70s Reds, Murderers Row. That's 100 years old next year, so that's another like pretty good comparison. That Yankees team from 1927.
Even like
Yeah,
the
you're just
2016 Cubs, I would say.
yeah.
Oh, that team was loaded too, right? Like Rizzo and
Yeah.
Chris Bryant and all those guys. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a stacked lineup. But yeah, we haven't really seen, like, unless you want to say the San Francisco Giants from the mid 2010s,
Oh,
2010,
yeah.
12, 14. But that's a very different way that they came about being a dynasty, right? You sit back and you're like, they had Buster, Lincecum, Madison, Bumgarner, but that lineup they weren't cracking 30 homers.
It wasn't
right?
like generational kind of Hall of Fame type players on that team. It was just a good collective.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And this gives you that kind of Mookie compared it to the Bulls, and Otani's their Jordan. And it's, considering Otani is 31, he's got a lot of miles left to be able to do these kind of epic moments and lead this team back to the postseason for the foreseeable future, especially because of that deferred contract. So you've got a chance.
And
to
I feel like they
baseball
do have
dynasty.
like. Oh, sorry, Joel.
That was it. You just have a baseball dynasty.
Yeah, and speaking of, they do still have that collective power with the Hall of Fame talent, like having Otani, Betts, like you were saying, Freeman. They have depth of and efficiency to them. You're looking at top 10 all-time team by almost any metric that's out there. I mean, um, they led baseball in run differential, team OPS, team WAR most of the year. They're elite on both sides. It's been interesting to see how how a lot of players that are their star players are just kind of now coming into the fold. And it's been an interesting tactic how they got into the postseason and how they're dominating it now.
I was just saying, a lot of people are mad that like they've become this money juggernaut, able to buy all their players. But all these, like the Red Sox had the ability to sign Betts.
Yeah.
The Rays had the ability to sign Snell and Glasnow. The Braves had the ability to sign Freeman, right? They just didn't. Angels had the ability to sign Otani. He had offered them. He goes, "You meet this contract, I'll play for you for the rest of my career." They didn't want to give it to him. They didn't want to give him the money, so they're going to go. They're just, it's a capitalist society, right? You can't harm players for trying to find the true value of what they bring to the table. So.
Yeah, 100. I mean, I'm from Orange County, so I'm an Angels fan. Me and my friends, like, we're just kicking ourselves the other day that we had Trout and Otani, like the two greatest players like since 2010, and we couldn't make it to the postseason. It's just ridiculous. Who do you guys who do you think should win the AL MVP?
I think right now it's definitely a two-man race between Aaron Judge and Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. Judge leads most categories like slugging, OPS, WAR, but Cal is a catcher who hit 60 bombs. I think we all were just shocked and in awe when that happened. I mean, that's for a catcher to do that. That's very incredible. And I think he deals
broke the
with
record by
difficulty.
13 homers for a catcher, right?
Yeah, that was. And I just also remember, seeing him at the home run derby and him being fantastic and winning that as well. But I think just he handles one of the best rotations in baseball, and he's involved in every play. And I think it shows us that WAR doesn't factor in all the intangible elements. So I personally will go with Big Dumper for MVP.
Every year, there's like the talk of recency bias and like, oh, we're getting tired of Judge always winning MVP. But something that's been said all year was that like somebody is going to have to do something truly special to knock him off of winning MVP, and setting the switch hitter record for homers, setting the record for catcher homers, and doing it in Seattle where it is not easy to hit home runs. It's not. Like, that's one of the hardest stadiums to hit home runs. If he would have played in Yankee Stadium, he might have hit 65. He might have hit 68 home runs.
Is it because they got the short right field and Yankee Stadium. And then why is it hard to hit homers? Is it because of the Seattle air, or is it because of the stadium design?
The stadium design and the marine layer, like the way that wind comes in off the stadium, there's pretty much the opposite thing happens in Yankee Stadium. And like all the great players who play there say that there's a jet stream that takes the ball out to right field. But then especially at the beginning of the year and at the end of the year in Seattle, you're hitting it into this cold, humid marine layer that just deadens the ball. And like you've seen guys, I've seen a lot of guys who do exit velocity stuff on their channels, and they go and they hit in Seattle and they'll hit the ball like 106 miles an hour and it goes to the warning track, and they're just sitting there going, how does Cal Raleigh do it? And you really realize that hitting 60 home runs and half of them in Seattle is
a feat.
Is Yankee Stadium the easiest place to hit a home run?
It's the easiest place if you're a left-handed hitter to pull a ball.
Okay.
Because if you hit the ball to center field, the dimensions get really big to center.
Okay.
So it's hard to hit the ball center field, but if you're pulling down the lines, and like Judge is a right-handed hitter, so he hits the ball to left field. He's really good at hitting to all fields though. So you get some cheap ones. You get probably about if you're hitting 50 homers, you're probably getting 5 to 6 cheap ones in Yankee Stadium, where Cal is getting the opposite. He's getting like 5 or 6 probably taken away because he's hitting in Seattle.
Is Seattle the toughest place of all stadiums to hit a home run?
San Francisco is the toughest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Crazy
Which is
Marine
insane because
layer.
Bonds set the record there. Bonds sets the record in the hardest stadium to hit home runs. Like to go
Such a glorious
pull side as a
time.
lefty.
Oh, right.
To go pull side as a lefty to that triangle that they have out in right center, you have to go 420 feet and then clear a wall that's 25 feet. So you have to hit a ball 435, 440 feet to get it out. And that just clears the wall. Like that's a home run by 40 feet, 50 feet in other stadiums. So that's difficult. That's really tough.
My buddy Don was in a kayak in the water. He got capsized trying to catch a Bond's ball.
That's amazing.
I always wonder just, those people that go out in the kayaks and what that experience is like for them, because for a long time, I mean, you're just hanging out there listening to the radio and hoping something happens. But then when something does happen, everyone's rushing in, and I feel like it's like
Waterworld.
Yeah. I want to do it myself. It looks fun. No,
it
would be. It's like almost jousting, but in the water.
Yeah.
And then, so you guys do a lot of stat breakdowns, and baseball is so big in that world. It's one of the things I love most about it. So it does feel like right now, like the popular stats are like exit velocity, OPS, WAR. In your guys' kind of learnings, what are the overrated statistical models right now?
It's funny that you say exit velocity, because I think that it is a very flashy stat, and you're right, it's extremely popular. But I would argue to say that it's a bit overrated, because it tells you how hard the ball was hit, but not whether it helps the team or not. And I think a lot of our stats that we do what we try to do is help people understand what's overall helpful for the team and how to get them to a winning position. So, okay, I'll give you an example. So you have 110 mile per hour out, that still counts as an out, right? But it's 110 miles per hour, but it's still an out. And it doesn't include strikeouts as a zero value in its equation. So if I hit a ball at 100 miles per hour, then in my next plate appearance, I strike out, I still have 100 mile per hour exit velocity. Right. And so my stat tells us that I actually have a 50 mile per hour exit velocity instead of 100. So it's like,
that's
the
smart.
way that I like to, the way that I like to explain it, because I think stats can get so confusing and muddled, especially if you're a new fan. I mean, there's so many stats, and I know bringing on more stats can get confusing, but it's like if I had a test and I only answered the questions that I knew, and then I skipped the rest of them. So if there's 100 questions on a test and I answer 50 of them and I get 50 out of 50, well, based off of exit velo, then, that's essentially getting 100%. But based off of the reality of the situation, you got a 50%, you failed. So it doesn't make any sense. And that's kind of how I like to compare it to exit velo in a way that makes it more palatable.
That seems like a lot of you guys. Sorry, go ahead, Joel.
I was just going to say, you got guys like O'Neal Cruz who hit the ball an absolute ton, but they don't hit it often. They're sitting there with 210 batting averages because they're doing everything they can to hit the ball as hard as they can. And I think that right now, that is what they pay. That's what they incentivize, is hard hit balls. It's all over the StatCast. That home run was hit 450 feet and exit velo of 116 miles an hour. And it's just like, well, you're trying to hit a ball that's coming at you at 98 and it's tracking horizontally 8 to 10 inches on a sinker that's coming in on your hands. And you're trying to meet that with like an 80 mile an hour swing, right? And you're seeing that the more velocity that you have on the bat and the more velocity on the pitch, it makes the possibility of perfect contact far more difficult.
Right.
Right. And you see guys that can cut down their swing and shoot the ball to all fields. And their goal is just to barrel the ball. and
Mhm.
let the it used to be an old school mentality you'd hear on the baseball games all the time. Hey, let the pitcher provide the power. Just go and meet the ball out front. You don't have to swing with everything you've got. Just make solid contact and good things will happen. But now guys are really trying to hit the ball. They're trying to break that StatCast exit velocity record all the time. And you're like, if you're looking at Vladdy in the postseason right now, that guy is taking such controlled swings.
Hmm.
He is taking the most control, like the home run he hit yesterday off of Gilbert, this hanging 70-mile-an-hour, 80-mile-an-hour curveball right down the middle. He just flicked his wrists at it and it went 30, 40 feet out. Like, you understand that barreling the ball, it's gonna go.
Yeah.
It's gonna hit gaps. And like a guy like Josh Naylor for the Mariners, he comes up and he's trying to hit the ball wherever he's pitched. And you see guys nowadays, and they come up and they're like, I need the ball to be middle in, and I'm not swinging at anything else.
Yeah.
I'm keyholing that spot. And then the pitcher goes, oh, he's looking for a ball middle in. I will throw him 3 sliders low and away, and he won't correct himself to try to hit that pitch, and he'll just strike out. And he'll
Hmm.
go, oh, I never got my pitch. And it's just like, well, it used to be taught that if it's in the strike zone and you can
Swing
handle it, handle it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're saying like the statistical models we have now have kind of incentivized guys to be specialists with their hitting approach. So we've lost like the Tony Gwynns and guys like that who could just kind of make it work with anything. And so your guys' stats are bringing situation into it more. Like, are people on base? Are you making contact? And you're hoping with that to incentivize guys to be more all around hitters. Is that kind of the mission?
Yeah, that's a very good analysis of it. Essentially, what we're trying to do is encourage more balls in play. We want to see them be exactly situational hitters where they realize, okay, I have someone on second, so what can I do to, even if it comes at a sacrifice to that player, but it helps move the team, what can I do to help advance our players?
I love it because
And
it's like
so,
that old baseball wisdom combined with like the Bill James sabermetrics kind of stuff. And I think we're due for that because it feels almost cynical now when I watch baseball. Like, I mean, and I'm an old guy, so I'm used to seeing, good hitters hitting in the threes. And now it's like, yeah, just, I think we are ready for the paradigm to kind of shift again.
yeah, it's a situation where you can't.
Go ahead.
Oh, we were about to say the same thing. We're on the same page
Yeah.
right now. Um, you can't explain to a modern baseball fan that is so into the analytics and the statistics that it's the feel of the game that you have to go for. They're not going to respond well to that. So what we try to do is explain to that modern fan, speak to that analytical mindset and say, this is how you quantify feel, and this is why it benefits the team. I actually, when I was at that game on Friday, I got to meet up with somebody that follows our account, and he was saying, he was like, I love what you guys do, but the stats, like, I wish that there weren't so many stats. And I was trying to explain to him, it's what we're really trying to do is bring us back to a traditional mindset, but you can't speak to the current modern day statistician and say, again, it's just the feel of it. So we use stats to speak to them. And for those that aren't into the stats because it's too confusing or too much, what we're just trying to do is get them back to that feel of the game. You don't have to look at the stats, just see the results.
I love it. I think you guys are doing the Lord's work. I think this will be great. You guys are great for baseball. I'm glad you guys are doing it. The content's great.
Yeah, like one of the focuses is definitely you can't just say, hey, batting average is great. It really is a great stat because it's been shelved as kind of this like old school, oh, there's better things than batting average or innings pitched or all of these old stats that were really dependent on back in the day. So what you have to do is you have to take those old concepts and repackage them with modern verbiage and modern mathematical analysis to be able to say, hey, these things do work, but I'm going to use your lingo to try to explain to you on your terms. Because I can't just go, hey, I want guys to be like Tony Gwynn. And they're just like, no, that doesn't pay the bills. Like, you need to hit home runs. You need powers where it's at. But then when you look at the Yankees and they go by this philosophy every single year, of like swing big, and they'll put up 9 runs one game and then they'll get shut out the next, right? There's
Yeah.
no consistency to their winning.
You see it
It's
in basketball
boom or
too with the
bust.
3-pointer. People think the variance
Yeah.
is just too high. Okay, so moving into some other stuff, you guys were tracking the Matt Boyer case, and can you explain who he is and how he relates to Shohei?
Yeah, absolutely. So Matt Boyer is actually a close friend of ours, and it's not, and most people think like, well, how you must have gotten introduced to him through sports betting or something like that. And no, we got introduced to him because we ended up moving my friend's couch and met one of his friends, and then it's a long story.
But and then real quick for the audience, Matt Boyer was the bookie that Shohei's translator was placing bets through.
Exactly.
The
So
biggest bookie in American history. Like
Wow.
the biggest illegal bookmaker by far, and also probably right there for being the biggest gambler in American history at the same time.
Wow.
So he, over a 25 year span, you're talking about a guy who placed $1.2 billion in sports bets,
Wow.
and then had that much money come through him as a bookie. So being a bookie was how he paid for his gambling addiction. So he would make $4 to $5 million as a bookmaker. Then he would get a comped flight into Vegas every weekend. Go to like the Wynn or Resorts World.
Great hotels.
Get comped everything. And he would blow. So he'd come in with $5 million in a suitcase, right? And he would say, let's say he loses $1 million. Well, he washes 4 million.
Wow.
So he looked at it as just cleaning. If he lost $1 million, he was cleaning 4. But his mentality wasn't to lose $1 million; it was to win 10 million and wash that. So he would put himself down as a professional gambler on his tax returns, and nobody saw it. Like he completely went under the IRS's radar for 20 years doing this.
Wow.
until the eBay scandal. Yeah, go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much, he got involved with something so big that it ended up backfiring on him. And Ipe was nuts. Ipe was into him for $320 million in bets, 19,000 bets over a year.
And did Boyer think it was Shohei? Did he think it was Shohei placing the bets, or what was his perspective on that?
He's always been under the mentality that Ohtani, he has no proof that Ohtani was doing it. Like it really, because he met Ipe. He met Ipe, he knew Ipe, and Ipe was as big of a gambling addict as he has ever met. And he says that it's like Matt is as big of a gambling addict as you'll ever meet. And so he can recognize one, and Ipe put him to shame.
Wow.
So he would be sitting there at Angels games, and Ohtani would be on the mound pitching, and he would be getting 20 bets from Ipe, who's sitting in the clubhouse making bets while Ohtani's pitching, right? Like the bets were coming in
20.
on his phone. So it's like he's never said that he thinks Ohtani was making the bets, but he does say that Ohtani did wire him the money. That they kind of reverted that. The Dodgers reverted that story at the end when they're like, oh, he was completely robbed. He had no idea any of this was going on.
Right.
He feels like Ohtani eventually got to a point where he knew about what Ipe was doing and was trying to like bail his friend out of trouble with his own money.
So I'm kind of out of the loop on this. So is Ohtani basically cleared? Like he's not in any trouble?
Correct.
Yes.
And then what's happening to
go.
the bookie? Is he
He's in jail right now.
He's in jail.
He only got a year
Yeah.
though, right?
Yeah.
Not that that's
Joel
not
and
hard,
I-
but for the money that was getting moved, I thought it would be a longer sentence.
So Joel and I actually went to his sentencing. It happened at the end of August, and based off of, he was very compliant with the government. He made sure to pay all of his restitution up front. People will typically go to court and they'll wait till whatever their sentencing is before they end up paying anything. He just made sure to pay everything up front. He was very, he understood what he was doing was illegal. He wanted to essentially say, I understand, this is my punishment. Let me go ahead and make sure that I do it correctly. So he did get a year. They're hoping that he gets out earlier on good behavior. And he just started his sentencing, I think, a week and a half
On the
ago.
10th.
On the 10th, yeah.
And you know him because he
So-
moved your couch?
So do you want the actual story? 'Cause it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So what happened was Joel and I are in a relationship, and we were going to visit my Nana's place for the first time for him. And so he went and he sat down on her couch. This all leads somewhere, I promise. He sits down on my Nana's couch, and then the legs completely blow out. And of course, Joel is mortified. My Nana and I are just cackling because I just thought it was funny and embarrassing for him. And Joel's trying to fix it. And my Nana says, she eventually admits to us, like, oh, the couch has been broken for a long time. But she admitted that after I said, hey, I have a couch. I was moving out of my apartment. I was going to give my friend the couch to just put in her place because she had extra space. But I said, I have an extra couch. I'll give it to you. We'll replace it. Okay. So admittedly, my Nana was like, oh, I've broken this couch many times. Her and her partner, did some things to break the couch. We'll leave it at that to keep it PG.
It's her Nana's lesbian sex couch.
I'm trying to keep it PG over here, and Joel's like, let's just tell him.
Let's just tell him, just to be honest with you.
So I told my friend, hey, I need my couch back. And so she was in the looks for another couch for this room, and I kind of felt bad. And so she asked, I have a truck, so she asked if she could borrow my truck and my boyfriend to go move this couch. She's a night nurse, so I said, we'll just go pick it up on our own. As we're picking up this couch that she found off of Facebook Marketplace, Joel is working with the guy to move the couch downstairs with him because it's in some sort of crazy apartment complex. And this guy says to Joel, so what are you up to? What's going on in your life and stuff? And Joel goes,
Yeah, let me take over.
okay.
So that morning, we're doing a podcast in Arizona for Eric Gagne, the former Dodgers closer. So yeah, we're going like down to Arizona, and we're trying to set up a podcast for him. And that morning, he texts me and says, hey, we need to get a bookie on our show and talk about sports gambling. That should be our first show. And I respond to him, I'm like, haha, we should get Otani's bookie. Just as a joke, like I have no access to this man. I didn't even know Matt's name at the point, right? So like Brooke said, we go to pick up this couch for her friend because she didn't get the other couch that I broke. And I'm moving the couch with this guy who it's his daughter's couch. And we're going down this row of like 20 steps down to Brooke's truck. And he, like Brooke said, he asks me, so what are you here for? And I'm like, oh, we're here doing kind of like scandalous baseball content. We're doing a podcast about like scandals in baseball. And I'm on the heavy end of the couch, and he just stops. And he's like mid 40s. And I think that he's having a heart attack. I think that he's having a stroke or something. I'm like, are you okay? Do you have to put the couch down? And he goes, my best friend is Matt Boyer. Matt Boyer is the bookie in the Shohei Ohtani scandal. And so like the day that I made a joke about meeting and getting this guy on our podcast, magically the sky is open and the stars align, and I meet his best friend. The next day I'm talking to Matt on the phone. The day after that, I'm at Matt's house, and he is telling me stories that I cannot repeat on the air. I just can't. He told me things, he dropped names that will blow your mind when it comes to who he was involved. And then
are they people in sports or people in politics or just like actors? Or
I'm just gonna nod.
Just all of the above.
Yeah, he had about 750 people in his book, and they were not one of them was making bets for like $30. We're talking about everyone's making $1,000, multi-$1,000 bets.
And he didn't roll over on anyone.
No, that's the great thing about Matt is he's incredibly loyal.
Good book.
He's incredibly loyal to. Yeah, he would not.
That was part of the appeal to him, I think, too, is because you can. Sports betting, as we know, is not illegal. There are plenty of companies that you can do something like that with. However, doing it as an individual in California is illegal. And then, of course, sports betting, if you are involved in the sports world, is illegal. So it's the anonymity that he brought that people really appreciated about him.
Sure, they don't want their
then-
business in the streets. You can just keep it discreet with him.
Exactly. Especially like if you're that status, right? If you're famous in
Yeah.
any capacity, you don't want
If you're
people knowing
Gavin
your
Newsom, you
business.
don't want people to know you're throwing down bets. I'm just going to start guessing people.
For sure, for sure. But yeah,
yeah,
needless
it
to say,
was-
we
it
ended
was-
up
If you're Barbara
meeting-
Streisand and you want to put 5K on the Trojans next weekend, you don't want anyone
always
to
just
know.
hear, whenever I hear Barbara
Matt-
Streisand, my brain just goes, ooh.
Matt had bet on, like, he would go to Vegas and bet $300,000 a hand on Baccarat. He would bet
Great game.
$4.5 million on a Super Bowl, which he won. Like, he was
Wow.
as wild of a gambler as you'll ever meet.
You can
And,
see it in his eyes. He's got that reckless intensity, that like little. I see a scotch of self-loathing in there. That those guys are always the most fun. You got to be around them as often as possible if you want to feel the thrill of life. Well, we got to hop because we got more calls coming up. But it was so nice hanging with you guys. You guys were wonderful. We'll have you back on. Thank you for doing what you do, bringing a little bit of contact back to baseball. Much needed.
Oh,
Thank you
thank
so
you
much,
so
guys.
much for reaching out, and you guys were a pleasure to speak to. So
Thank you,
hopefully
guys.
We can do it again soon.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great one. That was cool.
Yeah, Matt Boyer, dude, guy gets after it.
One thing so is he, everyone knows he's a bookie? Like not, I know now they do, but like,
Like, did he tell people before I'm a bookie?
yeah.
That's a good question.
I've always wondered that about bookies. They're like, oh yeah, everyone knows this bookie. And I'm like, does he kind of, if you say, hey, are you a bookie? He's like, yeah. Like, or is it more of like a drug dealer status?
I think it's more like a drug dealer.
Interesting.
I mean, I think it's a little cozier of a job. Like, I think if your friend came over and you're like, hey, my buddy's a bookie, everybody be like, that's kind of fun. Whereas
Right.
if you're like a drug dealer, it's like, this guy slings fent. It's like, get him out of my house.
I mean, that's the thing is like, well, you know, with their story of like how they met him, the guy's like, he's like, my best friend is like the top bookie in the country.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you wouldn't be like, you'd be like, yeah, we're doing a podcast on like guys who deal blow. And he's like, wait a second. My best friend deals blow.
It's there's cuddlier crimes. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
stuff that like just works with people.
Yeah. That's so interesting. Like cops are like, yeah, I'm a bookie. You want to place a bet?
Cops plays bets too. Everybody loves a
Yeah.
little action.
Dude, so I confessed something super gnarly to my fiance this week.
What'd you say?
Well, she was like, hey, do you want to go shred aspen this winter? And I was like, 100%. She's like, sweet, what board do you ride, Burton? And I was like, actually, babe, it's 2 planks. She goes, what? I'm like, I ride 2 twigs. She goes, what? And I'm like, I ski.
What'd she say?
She was like, so you're gay? And I was like, I'm not gay, I just ski. And I went to boarding school. It's very snooty. And she's like, but you surf. Why would you not snowboard? I'm like, because father wouldn't allow it. He said it was very uncouth. He's like, snowboarders, they just swipe snow all over the mountain. They're just pushing it everywhere. He's like, they're savages.
How did she respond to that?
Now she doesn't trust me with guys.
So I think you're the first bro I know who used it regularly, but I had heard it, you know, occasionally, the word froth. So what does froth mean to you?
Froth is just like a straight synonym for stoke.
Okay. I totally agree. I think that's what it should mean. I don't know if you're hip to this, but I've been dipping my toe into finance. They use the word froth.
For real?
Yeah, for when asset prices rise beyond what's reasonable.
So like the asset prices are frothing.
It's a froth. It's like a bubble that's about to burst is froth.
Whoa.
So like the housing market in 2005 was frothing.
Whoa.
The .coms, throw a .com on it, now your business is frothing.
Whoa.
And so my cue is this, who took it from who? The earliest use of it I can see in finance is Alan Greenspan said it about housing in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think bros were saying froth before that? How we say froth?
I mean, I think it's pretty well documented that the first surfer, Duke Hanamoku, was like, after he surfed Waikiki, he's like, dude, I'm frothing off that wave.
And I think that's right. And I think a lot of finance douches have a habit of borrowing language from the chill dudes and then masking their BS in our chillness so that people aren't hip to what's going on.
Right.
Like it's almost like they're softening this like gnarly thievery by just calling it froth, using the word bro.
Soften the blow, soften like economic blows by being chill about it.
Yeah, just call it froth.
Yeah.
No one's going to freak out about froth.
Yeah. And,
It sounds cake adjacent.
and plus, what came first? Finance or surfing?
Surfing. There you go. Yeah, I don't like it. Every time I hear one of these dudes say froth, I'm like, where were you, dude? I didn't see you in any of the places I was at.
Yeah.
And now you're up on your kingdom and you're saying, hey, look at all the froth. I'm like, nah, that's not where it lives.
And dude, I mean, that's like, if they're maybe they shorted the market and they're like, oh dude, yeah, the housing market is frothing right now, bro. And then you could be like, dude, you led me down the wrong path. You told me it was frothing. And it's like, well, actually in the finance world, that means negative.
It's a bad thing.
It's a bad thing. Man, the bubble was about to burst.
Yeah, that's what's crazy, right? Is they took a positive thing and now it's negative, but people didn't know there's a switch.
Yeah. And sorry, go ahead.
No.
I mean, that's like, I think that's how they do insider trading. And that's how they got Martha Stewart, you know? But,
Oh, dude. Yeah, that's a good call by chat. It's the frats that are taking the slang. So you get 12 cool guys in a frat, and then the one guy who goes off to do a finance thing takes all the lingo and repurposes it.
yeah.
I almost think like, because I'm fully supportive of people in finance, I think it's a very valuable skill set. But I do wonder if we have to be a little bit exclusionary and be like, hey, bro, we wish you well on your journey, but here's like the 15 words you can't use anymore.
Yeah.
Just because we don't want it to get, mixed up with other business.
Dude, totally. And it's like if you keep using those words, no more bailouts.
Yeah,
Another
even
thing, bailout. Dude. They just keep jacking our terms.
Yeah, because like that's straight up us,
Yeah.
like just hanging and like, dude, we got to bail, And now they're like, oh, what if we turn it into, help recover industries that are going to go under? It's like, nah, that's not really what it's about.
Yeah.
It's the stakes are way lower.
I mean, when I first heard...
Technically, I mean, it is bad when you bail, but it's lower.
Yeah, I mean, when I first heard Obama was like, hey, we're going to... The banks are going to bail out. I'm like, so they're barrel dodgers. Doesn't mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, cool, that's chill. But then I'm like, oh no, the government's giving them a ton of cash because they muffed up. And now we're like daddy giving... just being like, oh, you muffed up, but here's money to make up for it. We're not letting them learn from their mistakes.
Yeah.
That's what he should have said. But instead he's like, oh no, they just didn't want to stay in the barrel. They bailed. And
There was too much froth. Now we have to do a bailout. I'm like, that all sounds normal to me until I read what's happening. And then I'm like, that's not what you were talking about at all.
dude,
That's definitely been concerning to me and something I'm keeping an eye on.
well, props to you for staying on top of that and bringing that to the forefront of culture, because no one's talking about that.
And so that's been a beef of mine, but I saw that you're pretty beefed up recently about
Dude, what's with movie stars all doing their own podcast now? Literally every movie star is like, every week I'm like, they'll be like, George Clooney, hey, and now I have a podcast, and it's like, they're like Ed Helms, Julie Louis-Dreyfus. I'm like, stay in your lane. Podcasts are for people like us who want to talk about aliens and, beeholes and, whether we can travel through different dimensions. And now we have these movie stars. They have so much cachet that they're eating up the whole market. And I'm like, can't the little guy have something?
Yeah.
I blame Newsom.
It's probably on him to a degree. I also think it's representative of larger kind of undercuts. Like you think about someone tries to start like a pool floaty company and then Amazon's like, oh, you got some traction. How about I just do a slightly cheaper one and I funnel all the traffic to my version of it?
Yeah.
And then you're like, dude, so we live in America now where you can't even start a pool floaty business.
Yeah.
Which is just like antithetical to everything I was raised on.
Yeah.
Like if you have an idea and it's good like that, it should work.
Right.
Same thing with podcasting.
Yeah.
Like let's just get two kind of cool guys to just shoot the shit and hang out and you'll be buddies with them. Great idea. Oh, what if we do the version with George Clooney and Jason Bateman? It's like, well, yeah, but that's that's not even two normal guys anymore.
No.
They're acting normal, but like look at their room service orders. It's extravagant. And I've lived well, but I'm not well heeled like that. And then it just feels a bit like they just continually chop off the point of entry for normal folk. And I'm a normal guy. I might have a trust fund, but I'm a normal guy.
That's exactly the issue. Here's the worst example. Two of probably the biggest names in culture. Two guys who definitely don't need a podcast. Barack Obama and Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah. Oh, please go.
We have presidents doing their own podcast now. Dude, go to the National Archives and stand there and write.
Yeah, do something learned and something like aspirational, not like the cheapest way to commune. I know we do it, but whatever, dude. And yeah, or go do Mark Maron and he'll ask you a bunch of softballs.
Yeah, dude, it's just... it's movie stars used to have mystique. That's another thing too. This is movie
big.
stars used to have mystique. Big artists used to have mystique. You didn't know, they were mysterious. Michael Jackson, Prince, who else?
Sinead
Tom
O'Connor.
Cruise has some mystique still because he doesn't do this stuff.
Yeah.
It's like Sinead O'Connor, is that what you said?
Yep.
Sinead O'Connor. Yeah, I mean, they had mystique. Can you imagine, R.I.P., but Robert Redford in his prime or Sylvester Stallone in their prime, hot as hell, doing ad reads for Blue Chew?
No, I mean, dude, the ads are a big part of what's killing it.
Yeah.
Because people are trying to tell you how to live, and then I don't think we should be doing our own ads.
Yeah.
I think we should go back to when the TV show was one thing and the ads were another thing, and they were separate.
Yeah.
I think that's a big scheme by somebody to undermine just legitimacy across the board. They're like, hey, this guy's making some good points. Have him read an ad for a microwave.
Yeah. Guys, I'm interrupting this podcast to let you know that we are brought to you by a new sponsor, Atlas. They sent us their stuff. It's a shaving company, and I'm so stoked on the product. I love their shaving cream. I love their razor. High quality razor, premier technology, and the shaving cream, I love it because it has that moisturizing effect. So when you shave, it leaves that dewiness to your skin where, a lot of other shaving creams you'll shave and you'll be like, man, my skin's all dry. Like my skin looks worse after I shave. With Atlas, you will get that protection you need, that moisturization you need to have just a glistening, glowing mug. And that's what we love here on the pod. Stop wasting money and time on shaving products that don't look good, aren't effective, and cost way too much. Grab House of Atlas now at Target stores nationwide or online at target.com. Guys, House of Atlas is a fantastic shaving company. I love them and I'm so stoked on them. I love clean shaven. I love being clean shaven. That's why I use Atlas. They sent me the stuff. I was converted right away. I'm like, these guys are fantastic. They're great. Big fan. The razor stands out with its weighted handle, precision trim edge. The shave cream and aftershave elevate the routine with a refreshing and subtle signature scent, making grooming feel more like self-care than a chore. These products are sleek, elevated designs, and they're available at Target stores nationwide and online at target.com. So stop wasting money and time on shaving products that don't look good, aren't effective, and cost way too much. Grab House of Atlas now at Target stores nationwide or online at target.com. Thank you, House of Atlas, for sponsoring the show. Dude, can you manifest more money? 100%. I tried this experiment recently where every morning I said, money flows to me abundantly. I see it everywhere. Next day, I found a dollar bill on the street. Day after that, I found a 20 in my wallet. The day after that, I'm at my dad's house. I see this watch in his room on his bedside table, and I'm like looking at it. I'm like, this is a piece of crap. I was literally about to throw it away. And then my dad goes, what are you doing with my Rolex? And I was like, holy crap, this shit really works.
So what happened to the Rolex?
I pawned it for $500.
Smart, dude. Yeah, go, Jake.
You got a beef?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
actually,
come on.
it's a legend. So my legend of the week is my doctor.
Nice.
I've been having this shoulder pain, right? Like up around my traps, and it was going on for a couple weeks, and I didn't really, I was like, whatever, it'll heal itself, but it didn't. So I went to the doctor. I walk in, and he says that this injury is called a slap tear, which only professional pitchers have. Whoa. And I was like, bro, I kind of wrote my pitching career off, I was like, it's bullshit. I played on JV. It was ass. But when this doctor told me that, it kind of like reassured that, I was a great pitcher. I kind of fucking, enough to tear my shoulder. So
That's huge.
that's my legend. Is the guy who told me that I have the same injury as a professional baseball player.
That's sick, dude. Yeah. Congratulations, man.
Dude, that's awesome.
I think there's probably, I'll cut this, but there's probably like a way that it's way funnier. But
No,
No, it's leave it in. We're just having fun, man.
Yeah.
We're playing ball.
And dude,
We're ball players.
Jake, let me tell you this. I hope someday you have to get the Tommy John surgery.
oh yeah, that would be a double hitter.
That'd be sick, dude.
That'd be sick.
You deserve that.
Yeah, and then you get Lou Gehrig's disease.
Dude, this is crazy. I went to Huntington Gardens. Have you been there?
No.
It's a zoo for flowers in Pasadena. It must cost $1 billion to make because it's gigantic. And they have like just the most beautiful foliage. And they got different sections, right? There's Australia, there's China, there's Japan. Look at how beautiful that is. That's in Pasadena.
Wow.
Look at these photos. Bro, it's the perfect place to chill if you want to write.
Holy
you could run
tomatoes.
there. They've got roads, so you can do some road work there. But bro, bonsai trees?
Yeah.
Sickest things ever, right? So
P.
cool. What a beautiful art form too. To just like, prune that and make it look like interesting. Bonsai trees are from China. They started the whole thing. It was called Penjing. And then Japan took them, started cultivating them, and they refined it into like a whole school of thought. But that OG stuff is China.
Really?
Yeah. And so you think about that, like all the homies, all my buddies are into bonsai. They're all walking around being like, it's a Japanese art form. It's like, it's kind of not, dude. And I'm all for like, I'm not like a hater on appropriation. Like people are like, oh, Iggy Azalea is talking like a black artist. She's from Australia. I'm like, music's good. As long as the homage is bone deep and it's not super fish, I'm chill with it. Picasso went to Africa, him and Brock, they saw their stylings and they brought that back to their, post blue period kind of art. So I'm okay with like grabbing inspiration, but we should be cognizant of where this stuff originated. So next time you're thinking bonsai, maybe repurpose and go Penjing, because I think that's where, it was during the Tang dynasty and that's dank and they deserve that tang.
Iggy Azalea is Australian?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dude, off that point too. Yeah, do you think maybe they took that during World War II.
I think it was part of the beef was definitely that was in the stew where it was like, hey, you guys have just been ripping our shit, and now the whole world thinks you guys like because you created this style. The bonsai is like the style. It's like that's the treatment of the thing. They're like people totally forgot that we even like kicked it off, and I'd be pissed.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'd like go all the way with it, but I'm kind of a puss sometimes.
No, I think like maybe like when I believe Japan heavily invaded China during World War II. Maybe they're so pissed at China. They're like, dude, you're helping the Americans, F you. And they're like, also that tree, it's ours now. I could totally see them doing that.
Should we get into this? Should we get into doing bonsai? It's a global art of patience, design, and living sculpture. That really works with me.
I think you should go for it.
I'm going to get into it. I was telling my lady she should get into it because it felt perfect for her, but how about we do it together?
Yeah, I'm down. I tried it last year, but it took too long.
What did I want to say? No, I don't want to talk about that. Oh, dude, yeah, I got to address a controversy too. Maybe we cut this. But we had Congressman Ro Khanna on last week. Chill talking to him. Not trying to sway anyone to any side. Just want to put some info out there and get people to look into stuff. That's the only motivation. But then, dude, our dearest friend, Cream Jeans, came at me hot, bro.
Oh, we did? I saw a comment.
And we've cleared the air. I love Cream Jeans.
Yeah. So I saw him apologize, but I didn't know what happened.
And he didn't even have to do that. He's just such a nice guy.
Now, was this in comments or DMs?
He's a better guy than me. It was on comments, but he was saying that we silenced the chat because we were protecting Ro.
Oh,
like because we didn't want him to get like grilled on stuff, and we would not do that first off, and the reason we did it is we were doing Zoom for the first time, and Jake was worried it would eat up bandwidth, so like he was like, let's just do that and not have the chat, and so I messaged the screenshot of me and Jake's conversation to Cream Jeans, and I was like, bro, like, it's all above board, man. Mm-hmm. And then me and Cream were good. And then I was ruminating on him, like, why'd I get so worked up? I'm always like reacting to comments. I'm like a little bitch, but also I gotta, whatever, get the fuck off me, dog. That kind of shit. Mm-hmm. And then I realized Cream Jeans is actually right, dude. There is a massive conspiracy going on to protect Ro and to protect other people. And do you know where that conspiracy originates from?
Where?
Dude, I did some research. It's from within my own dome. There's a part of my brain that I'm not aware of that is working on behalf of larger, darker powers, and I don't even know it's doing it. So I can't even stop it, but there is an organized conspiracy to suppress information and to protect the existing power structure, and it's in my own dome.
Wow.
And like I kind of know it's there, but I don't know it's guiding me.
Yeah.
And so I'm doing work at the behest of these people without their explicit direction, but it's already in there. And so I don't know how to take it out without killing myself, but there is an active disinformation campaign and a protection of information campaign from somewhere within here.
And do you think is it blocked by your frontal lobe?
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah,
it could be. I don't know how to, because I can't even see it, but it's working against me.
So how do you combat that?
I don't know yet. I just think first is transparency and getting it out there.
Yeah.
But there is something going on.
Yeah.
And yeah, some people are saying this might be unhealthy, that to be conspiratorial to where you're conspiratorial against yourself is not going to provide benefit. But in my pursuit of the truth, I will find and eliminate all bad actors, even if that bad actor is somewhere within here. I don't know where it's hidden. It could be in the hippocampus. Mm-hmm. So I am probably going to get a scan and see if there's like a little lion bitch hiding in there in between the grooves that send messages to my hands and my feet. But yeah, he's in there somewhere.
Wow.
A little bitch that's working for the gov.
Wow.
I love you, Cream Jeans. You brought the truth out. I think if I do DMT too.
And who are the bad actors? Like Chris Klein?
You think he's working with the government? Is he the one who went? Did he join Dean Cain?
Yeah.
Is he with ICE now too?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah. Can you imagine if you're getting detained by ICE and you're like, Chris Klein?
Chris Klein, what are you doing?
He's like,
here?
let me see your passport.
Oh, striker.
He's like, you can.
Chris Klein? Con mucho gusto.
Dude, that's crazy. That's going on inside your own dome. I mean, you got a wild dome, dude.
It's a fight, dude. It's a fight, but I will extricate the evil and I will bring good back into the house.
Have you had this talk with your kids yet where you're like, look, you're blessed with a fire dome, but you got to wrangle that sucker.
Yeah, I mean, when my son, who is punching everyone and everything right now, I'm like, bro, I love the fire, but you gotta wrangle it because your brain is on fire, kid.
Yeah, transmute it into books.
Please read, please.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because he goes like this. He'll hit like his sister, and I go, dude,
Yeah,
you can't hit your sister. He goes, I hit my sister.
Yeah,
And I go, but that's bad. He goes, I like it.
yeah,
And there's something charming about that direct kind of sociopathy, but it does terrify me a bit.
right.
But I do smile.
Yeah,
So maybe he's revealing the deeper truth that, we love it on some primal level.
100%.
And they're small, but dude, they swing them things.
Yeah. I'm lucky. I've considered myself lucky because, in my family, we have our domes definitely, my dad's dome, it's functioning and it's, it can
Clear
go
highways.
it can go haywire too. But luckily I'm the fifth child, so the sperm was so diluted by the time it got to me that mine's just way chiller.
You're just nice all the way through. Like
Yeah.
like all these other swimmers were fighting.
Yeah.
They're like, get off me. And they were
Yeah.
punching each other.
Yeah.
And then you just were like,
Yeah, mine's just like, hey dude, I'll just like cruise on in.
you hit them with one of these. And then they
Yeah.
looked at you and they were like, they were about to bow up and be like,
Yeah.
beat that sperm's ass. And then they were
Yeah.
like, eyes mellow, let him go. And you were just like, later.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what up, egg? And just fucking nom, 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 nom.
All right, should we call a Chudwin real quick?
Yeah, I'd just like to say I went and saw one battle after another.
Yeah, what'd you think?
I loved it actually, and I cut it anyways, but I would like to take back my comments that I said last week and said that.
What'd you say?
Well, I just read some headlines that like Leo wasn't like the great or like the person that should be playing like the stoner sort of character, but he played
You
it really
cut
well.
that?
Yeah, I cut that. Yeah.
You bitch.
Sorry, I didn't. Yeah, coming from you, the guy who wants the littlest shit cut. So
Leave that in. Yeah. It's good you call me out. I am the biggest bitch about that. I'll send Jake the most granular notes sometimes.
he'll be like, "Can you cut the word cool?" After I responded to him. But no, I thought it was really good, and
That was a good cut.
and he played it really well. His daughter was fucking badass. I really want to see her in more movies.
Chase Infinity. Yeah, cool name.
She was so good, and like at certain points I was like only rooting for her because there was so much going on. And at the way it ends, I don't want to spoil anything, but it's just very cool. I think they tried to add a little too much on at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, like we didn't need to go back to a couple of those threads. I'm with you.
Yeah, or like that guy walking in the street, like without saying anything.
No,
too
you're
much,
not.
but
I don't think you're
yeah.
giving away too much. It's been out for a couple weeks now too. I know that's not like the longest time horizon, but at some point we gotta be able to talk about it. Chad, you haven't seen it yet?
No, I need to see
You've
it.
been tired. You're recovering.
Yeah. Dude, can I say another thing too?
Yeah.
So I put out Hot Goss yesterday. It did okay. Selena, Hailey Bieber, kind of a classic beef. Interest is waning on it. But someone commented, "You're the Kurt Loder of now."
Whoa!
And I think I know what my new last name is going to be. Chad Loder.
Chad Loder, that's sick. Dude, I love Kurt Loder.
Kurt Loder's the best.
He brought so much, he was so like debonair. Like he brought a real air of cool to like all that stuff. That's sick.
And you can play on that, like you drop loads.
I think Daisy Fuentes said she had a big crush on him.
Kurt Loder, dude.
You got Chudwin's number?
Dude, is that why Cream Jeans is not in the chat right now?
No, he's coming on. We're good too. There's no beef with Cream. Cream's the man.
Cream is the man.
He just shoots from the hip, and he was just trying to keep us accountable. I love him.
He's funny. He sent me these a couple stand-up bits. They're funny.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah, dude! I should start exchanging with him. I need some help.
I could see how it would look conspiracy, like, you know, that we were trying to hide something, but I can guarantee you that, like, from that interview there wasn't much cut from, like, the live to the actual thing. It was just more of like an internet issue. I didn't want to I didn't want to ruin the setup just so that we could have people chat with us, you know.
100.
Cool. Do you like Carrie Underwood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that before he cheats song. I think
yeah.
that's one of, because she can't cheat her whiskey.
Before he cheats.
I like most country music. I didn't get into it until my 20s, and then I started, like, it really made sense to me. Like, I was like, it's just about, like, loving basic shit.
Yeah.
And it gives you an appreciation for, like, your car. Like, you just walk out, you're like, that's my car.
Yeah. That's my goddamn car.
We might get into it with Chudwin, but Chad, you are now an officially Rams fan for a week or for the season. What's the
yeah, so big game yesterday. The Jaguars played the Rams. Rams absolutely demolished them.
Yeah, they beat the hell out of them.
And I was like, dude, I'm a Rams fan now. So yeah, just proud to be part of the Ramley. Thank you guys for welcoming me so openly. You know, got called out on social media. People are like, you know, you're a fake fan, you're bandwagon. And I'm like, dude, I'm just a new type of fan. Like, you know, in this world where things are served up to, we have AI and stuff. It's like, you expect me to also be loyal to a team?
Dude, and also, is loyalty to a team a good thing?
Yeah.
Like, if anything, I think we have an issue in the world where people are too loyal to external factions and ideologies.
Yeah.
I think you being like, hey, who's chill this week is actually the way to do it, because you're like, as reality changes, so do I.
Totally.
And these other people are gripping to a reality that's not even real.
Yeah.
So congratulations, you love the Eagles. You're also loving something that's different.
Yeah.
So, like, if it's all new players, is it the same team? No. So what do you love?
That's like, my fiance is a Raiders fan, and the Raiders just got destroyed yesterday by the Chiefs.
Yeah.
31-zip.
They got their asses fucking whooped.
Every year, you know, but shout out to my boy Justin Barnes. He works for the Raiders. Love you, Justin.
Big shout out.
Love the Raiders.
JB.
But I was like, babe, you know, I think it's time you joined the Ramley. I've been waiting here for the past 12 hours asking you to join my team. You know, because every season, I'm like, she's like, what was the score? I'm like, you don't even want to know for the Raiders. And I'm like, don't you want to root for a team that wins?
Yeah.
That's my method.
And then you have more fun every week because of that.
Yeah. I'm like, you know.
Dude, me and my boys are playing Helldivers. Are you into that?
No, I haven't really got into it. I've heard a lot about it, but
I got to be honest. I love that my boys love it so much, but it's hard for me to play a game where you don't beat someone. So you play on the same team as your friends, but you play against the computer together.
Right.
And I kind of like need us to be making someone else's night worse for me to feel good.
Right.
the government's blaming Helldivers for part of the radicalization of that shooter of Kirk.
Oh yeah, he was using some of the language, right?
Yeah, all the bullets were like language from Helldivers, but I don't know. I've never really gotten into it. I'm more of a Marvel Rivals guy at the moment, so.
Are you playing Call of Duty still?
Nah, Call of Duty's ass. They came out with a
Yeah.
new one, and it's just a remaster, pretty much the same of like what it used to be.
It's Verdansk.
It's Verdansk again, yeah. They're like, we put 2 new cities in Verdansk. I'm like, well, the whole other map is the same, so.
Does anyone care about Call of Duty anymore?
There's definitely still a community out there. It's just slowly kind of dying. I think they killed the game with cheaters. They weren't doing anything against hackers for like a year. And then when they tried to implement Ricochet, which was going to like stop it, it didn't work. The hackers just worked around it.
I mean, that's the problem, is that the game is just totally like cracked, where every time me and my boys, we suck, but every time we were signing on, we were just getting absolutely wrecked. And at a certain point, if you don't have any chance of winning the game, like we didn't, I think we won like, I played for like a month. I won like 2 war zones.
Wow.
I was like, this is really hurting my self-esteem.
Yeah.
And we're just getting wrecked.
They, kind of going off topic a little bit, but Halloween's coming up. I just bought my, I'm going to be Joe's dong at our show. I bought a penis costume.
Really?
Yeah. And Joe and Kevin's going to be,
Because I saw the text thread where you were asking about it. I thought you were just busting his chops.
no, I ordered it this morning. Kevin is going to be like the hunter.
Wait, like for Joe's dong?
Yeah. So at our show, if you're in LA, come to the show. Comedy Store Belly Room, Bros Before Joe's, Halloween night. I will be dressed up as a penis.
That's what's up.
I still have my hot dog suit if you want it, or banana if you want to be a banana.
JT,
What's up, baby?
I'm good. Finished the workout, regained my breath. I'm ready to roll.
All right, I'd love to hear it, man. You're a killer. So, dude, can you tell us what you came on before the football season? This is Adam Chudwin. He's from the Rich Eisen show. He's a longtime buddy of ours, and he is now our favorite sports prognosticator. What were your 5 takes at the start of the season? Can we review?
Yes, let's review. So I actually wrote them down, and here we go. So the first one I said was that Caleb Williams would be the first Chicago Bears quarterback to pass for 4,000 yards. And through 6 games, he has 1,351 yards passing, which is a 225.2 yards a game average. So right now he'd be on pace, if the pace continues, to have 3,828.4 yards. So it's not there right now, but I expect improvement from Caleb as the season progresses.
You're close. I do think I think you're going to hit that one. But overall, do we feel like Caleb isn't playing as well as we thought he was going to?
Yeah, I was very critical. The first game, he was horrendous. He was missing throws, not seeing open guys. But Ben Johnson's system is hard to learn. And Caleb's only in his second year. He had a first year where he had a horrible coach, horrible offensive coordinator. So it's going to be an adjustment. It was even hard for Goff to learn Ben Johnson's system at first, and he was in the league way longer than Caleb. So Caleb yesterday against the Saints, he was all right. He wasn't good. He wasn't awful. He was just all right. But I think the Dallas game, he was great, and he's made some great throws. He just needs a little more time in the system, I think.
Look, I'm just going to be a cunt. So you're going to tell me 15 to 26 for 172 and a pick is just all right?
I mean, it's not awful. He did what he had to do. He made some good throws. It was the run game that was awesome yesterday. He let the run game do their thing. He didn't make too many costly turnovers. The one interception didn't even lead to anything, so it was fine. And, yeah, maybe I'm a homer, JT. Yeah, I'm a Chicago homer. So what?
I love that about you guys.
Yeah,
You and
I think it was
Joe,
okay.
you guys still think Justin Fields is a Pro Bowler. All right, let's keep pushing.
We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about that later, by the way. That's in my notes.
All right, keep cooking.
Okay, so I believe I said that Abdul Carter would be the defensive player of the year, which I was way off on. He's barely played for the Giants. They think he's going to be a great player still, and he's looked good in certain situations, but I don't think the Giants fully trust him as a rookie yet, and so that pick has been way off. I still think Abdul Carter is going to be an awesome player, though.
Yeah, they got other good pass rushers too, so it's kind of a crowded D-line. All right, what else you got?
Okay, I had the Detroit Lions winning the NFC, and they have a big game tonight against the Buccaneers. The Lions are 4-2 right now. Lost a couple of tough games, against the Packers and the Chiefs, both good teams. I still think the Lions are going to win the NFC if they're healthy. That's the key. If they're healthy, if Aiden Hutchinson stays healthy, their ground game is great with Gibbs and Montgomery. And, of course, I trust Goff. I think he's a good quarterback. So, yeah, I'm still all in on the Lions. What do you think, JT?
I like them. I like them a lot. Where are you at, Chad?
I love the Lions.
Yeah, I was going to say, Chad.
Yeah, I'm considering becoming a fan.
What team are you currently a fan of, by the way, right now?
The Rams. I'm part of the Ramley.
Because they beat the Jaguars?
Yeah. Whose house, baby? Rams house.
Dad's house.
But yeah, I'm looking at the standing. So is it top two go to the playoffs?
Well, there's two teams that get a bye in the playoffs, and then there's wild cards.
Okay. So it looks like the Bears could be on track to. Yeah, I don't want to jinx anything. Should I just not say it? I'll knock
No,
on.
the Bears are on track. The Bears,
They're on track to.
I appreciate you, Chad. Also, by the way, listeners, if you don't know, Chad texts me after every Bears win. The Bears won 4 straight. I've gotten a text from Chad, a congratulations text every single time, and it makes me feel good. So I appreciate that.
No, I mean, Chad. I mean, everyone on the podcast, go check out his Instagram, Chud Talk Sports. I think it's my favorite Instagram right now. Because
thank you.
It's raw, it's real. You know, you're a Bears fan, but you know your stuff. After every game, and you're throwing up fire clips too of like good plays, and you're calling out players and stuff. But after every Bears game, you know, we get the reaction, and you see the real emotion, and I after every Bears game, I'm excited to watch, regardless of a win or a loss.
I appreciate that so much.
And then, so what were your other predictions?
So there were 2 others. So another one was I have the Bills breaking through and eventually winning the Super Bowl. And the Bills started out hot, 4-0. They've lost the last 2 games to the Patriots, which I think have been a huge shock this season, and they lost to the Falcons. I still think the Bills are going to be fine. They need to get home field advantage, though. I think that's the key. If they can get home field advantage their last year in their old stadium before they move on. The defense has been awful against the run. They're 31st overall in the league, which is concerning, especially in the playoffs. But the offense is clicking. They're first in rushing, and right now they are 3rd in total yards. So I'm still good with the Bills as my Super Bowl team. What do you think?
It could happen. They got Josh Allen. They got a shot. I do think they look a little rough these last few weeks, but I think they'll get it figured out.
The defense needs to step up.
Yeah, they don't look very consistent right now. They'll have like one good drive, and then they'll have a couple bad drives. They just haven't really put it together. They don't look as good as like the Colts or the Bucks, like teams that look really dialed when they're out there.
I agree with you on that. And then want me to go to my final one?
Well, first, how about those Patriots? They kind of came out of nowhere, huh?
They look good.
Yeah.
Drake May looks incredible.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Drake May looks awesome. And Vrabel, of course, a lot of Titans fans are upset they fired Mike Vrabel, and he's fit right back in New England because he played there under Belichick. He knows the team, he knows the culture, and I think that was an awesome pick for them to get Mike Vrabel back in New England.
And then, so Chud, your last prediction was that Jaden Daniels was going to have regression. He did. I think that was a beautiful.
No. Oh no, that was that an old take? I also had one about Joe. I was going to talk about the Joe Mauricio one.
But hold on, I wanted to ask you, Jaden Daniels regression.
Sure.
Caleb Williams is where he's at. If you had to do the draft over again, would you take Drake May over Caleb Williams?
Oh my God.
This is being recorded.
Hard to say because the problem is that Caleb came into such a bad situation with the coaching staff he had. They didn't even teach him during film sessions. Coaches are supposed to watch film with their rookie quarterbacks. He said that apparently Eberflus and Shane Waldron never watched it with him. So it's so hard to say.
Chicago guys love excuses. You guys would be the best guys to cheat on. It's like, dude, she doesn't drink. She's going to stop drinking daiquiris. And, you know, she was on a trip. She's been stressed out because her aunt was sick.
Yeah, I got a question for Chud. This is Jake, the producer. Yesterday we saw Bo Nix and Jackson Dart battle it out. Out of those two rookie quarterbacks, who do you got?
No, Bo Nix is second year.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, out of those two young quarterbacks, who do you got?
I like what Dart's been doing. He's got a cool swag to him. By the way, him and Scadaboo are just the best together. Those two are like old school jocks from like a 90s high school movie, like Varsity Blues or something. Those guys rule.
Yeah, they got good energy. Wait, so are you going Caleb or are you going Drake?
I tried to avoid it. I'm gonna say, I gotta say Drake, man. I have to be real.
Oh wow.
And I love you, Caleb, and I hope you don't get offended by this if you ever hear this, but I just have to be real.
Dude,
Drake May is looking amazing right now.
I got a cue for both of you guys.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers got tackled by his O lineman, and then he freaked out. Thoughts on that?
Valid, dude. He's 40 years old. Like, valid on, like, if you're 23, I think the guy tackled him was about that age. You don't know any better, so you're just having fun.
Yeah.
But as someone who's closer to 40, you can't do that, man. It's just, he just doesn't know any better, but Rodgers had a valid crash out afterwards.
100%. 100% agree with JT on that. You cannot touch Aaron Rodgers at this point. He is fragile goods. He is perishable. He is fragile. There's no need for that right now. So I 100% agree that the crash out was justified.
Now, JT, I'm not wishing ill upon your team. I root for the Steelers when I see them, but how hilarious would it have been if the guy tackled him and just blew out his Achilles or something?
Oh, I would have laughed for sure. It would have crushed our season, but I definitely would have laughed. Rodgers been playing good.
It would have been amazing.
All right, Chudwin, let's speed run through it. What are your 5 takes for the rest of this season?
Well, real quick.
Sorry.
The other take I had was Remember, it was Joe Morisi not drinking drinking more beers this year than ever. And I've been with Joe for most of the games, not all, but he hasn't drank as many beers as I thought he would.
Interesting.
And it's kind of disappointing. Yeah, I will say, though, the game against the Commanders, I've never seen Joe so angry in my entire life. In one of the penalties that was called, he literally threw his hat on the floor. He was screaming at the top of his lungs, and the entire bar was looking at him.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I gotta go.
I think he scared some women in there.
I say this every year. I have to watch a game with you guys.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah,
let me go over my yeah, what were you saying?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so let's do the new takes. Okay, so these are hot takes. And the first hot take I have is that despite the 1-5 start, the Baltimore Ravens will make the playoffs.
Whoa. That is...
Yeah, so listen to my reasoning. So far they've played the Bills, the Lions, the Chiefs, and the Rams. So they've had a horrible, difficult schedule to start out with. Lamar Jackson's missed the last couple games. And if you look at their schedule, Lamar's coming back, so is Roquan Smith. They play the Bears next week. I actually think they're going to beat the Bears. And then after that, they play the Dolphins, Vikings, Browns, Jets, and Bengals. That's a pretty easy schedule if you look at it. So I think Baltimore is on track for a huge rebound.
Right on. All right. That's a hot one. They got to go basically 10-1 or 9-2 the rest of the way. So, but you know what? I picked them early to make it far, and I'd love to see it. All right. What's your next one?
Okay, number 2 take. The Chargers, despite their 4-3 record, will miss the playoffs. And
whoa,
they looked awful. Yeah, they looked awful yesterday against the Colts. The Colts destroyed them. Their line without Joe Alt is horrible. Joe Alt's been out the last few games at left tackle. That guy's just an absolute beast.
And they lost Slater before the season, too. So their 2 all-pro tackles are gone.
Exactly. They say Joe Alt's supposed to come back soon, but who knows how healthy he'll be. They don't really have a run game. They have Vidal as their running back, and he's whatever. They've lost at home against the Commanders and the Colts recently. And they still have games. I'm looking at their schedule. They still have games against the Eagles, at the Chiefs, and at the Broncos. So those are all tough games, and I just see a collapse from the Chargers. I don't really see this team advancing this year.
I agree with you. Chargers are going to charge you. What's next?
Okay, number 3 we have, and guys, I have to say this, the homer bias might be coming in, but I really believe the Bears are going to lead the league in team rushing the rest of the year. And
Interesting.
the reason I say that was coming off the bye, the offensive line has looked incredible the last 2 games. Against the Commanders, the Bears had 145 total rushing yards, and then against the Saints yesterday, they had 222 total rushing yards. The blocking is way better. We replaced our left tackle, Braxton Jones, and Swift and our rookie, Kyle Monungai, have played really well. And I see Ben Johnson scheming this team even better, and so I believe that the Bears will lead the league in team rushing the rest of the season.
Nice. All right, next.
Okay, we have the New York Jets going 0-17. The New York Jets will not win a game this year. And I've heard from Jets fans online, I've heard from Jets fans that call into the Rich Eisen show, they've seen a lot of bad teams. But several Jets fans have said that this is the worst team they have ever seen in their fandom.
Do you think they'll trade Breece Hall?
Say it again?
Do you think they'll trade Breece Hall?
I wouldn't be shocked if they traded anybody at this point. They're in a absolute disastrous situation. JT, I have to give you a lot of credit because when I was holding delusions of grandeur for Justin Fields, you were telling me the truth. You were giving me the truth serum I needed when you kept telling me he's not a good quarterback. And finally, after all this time, when he finally left the Bears, I looked at it objectively, and I'm like, oh, he's a bad quarterback.
Well, he got me on board for a second, too, when he came to the Steelers. So I am, that bias, it's powerful, brother. All right, what's your... It was fun telling you guys that, though, because Joe used to come over, and I'd be like, Joe, would you rather have had Mahomes, or because I think him and Fields were the same draft. Oh, no, Trubisky. When it was Trubisky, I go, would you rather have Mitch or Mahomes? And Joe is so loyal to Chicago, he'd be like, I want Mitch.
Oh,
like,
God.
Mahomes just won, I think he'd already won a Super Bowl at this point. And Joe was like, it's not Mitch's fault. You guys always blame, you guys are sweet. You're so loyal to the players. I think you guys will always blame management and ownership before you'll blame the players, which is a very Chicago decent thing to do. All right, what's your last prediction?
Yeah. Okay, so speaking of Joe Morisi, here's my final hot take of the season. Before the end of this football season, I will convince Joe Morisi to stop being a vegan.
Wow. How are you going to do that?
That's your wildest take yet.
Listen, yeah, so Joe's a vegan now. He's not even a vegetarian. He used to be a vegetarian. He used to be able to eat cheese and eggs. He is a straight-up vegan right now. And we go to Gino's East now to watch the Bears games. And if you guys don't know what Gino's East is, it's a great pizza place from Chicago. And they have one out here in Sherman Oaks. It's a Bears bar. And yesterday, I ordered this beautiful tavern-style pizza. And it's thin crust and squares, and it's sitting there. And Joe's just looking at it, and this guy orders a hummus plate.
Oh, my God.
East.
Oh, my God.
Wow. I bet you that made him feel good. He loves existing outside of peer pressure. He's a solo warrior. He's out there. The tide goes one way. He's standing in the sand.
Oh, he was standing hard. And the thing is, the pita chips that they were going to give him, the pita, he found out it had dairy. He asked if it had dairy. So he was having Tostitos chips.
With hummus?
With hummus.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my God.
It was bad. So
that's dark.
I'm going to order a pizza every single time I'm with Joe, and by the end of the season, I will convince him to have a slice. He's going to break.
I like it.
God bless. Chudwin, those are some hot takes. Thank you for delivering, brother.
Thanks, Chud.
Appreciate it. Love you guys.
Buddy.
Love you. All right, I got to run.
Yeah, let's do it. Good shit, brother. I'll see you at the airport.
Yeah. Thank you, Stokers.
Thanks, guys.